This is the Vav of the Yerushalmi Yomi, and we're talking about the Eitz Hachaim in the Gan Eden. And yesterday we talked about the thickness of the trunk of the Eitz Hachaim, and now the Gemara says, "V'chol pilug mei breishis mispalgim tachtov." All the waters which come from Sheish Mei Breishis flow out from underneath Eitz Hachaim, and again, this will be taken as a metaphor for Torah. But so they all come out from there. Matam, what pasuk teaches us that? It's like this the tree which is planted on the top of the separation of waters. Tiny Eitz Chaim Echad Mishishim Lagan. Eitz Chaim is 1/60th of the area of Gan Eden. Hagan Echad Mishishim LeEden. And the garden itself is 1/60th of Eden. There's Chazal say that Adam Rishon only got to Gan Eden; he never got to Eden itself. And normally, Tzaddik HaKohen says whenever you have something which is Echad Mishishim, so then it's a taste. It's a taste. Like it's not butter b'shishim is when something doesn't leave a taste. So echad b'shishim is the faintest taste of something where you can taste it. And evidently, the Eitz Chaim is itself was 1/60th of not as here it seems to mean in size, but also is a taste of what Gan Eden is, what truly Gan Eden is. And Gan Eden itself is only a taste of what Eden actually is. And V'nor Yotzei Eden. And there's a river which comes out from Eden. And again, it could be all talking about water mamish, but of course we're talking about Torah, which comes up from a very high level. Lashkos Esagan, to water the Gan. Tamtzis Kur Tirkov. The concentrate, which is expressed from a kur, is a tirkov shoise. A tirkov can drink it. So, the question is what exactly this means. Moshe says, "Ma'amayim shemashkin base kur." From the water which it takes to irrigate a base kur, shushloshim sim, which is 30 saw, chamashkos mitamtzi, so you can take from that which kind of gets squeezed out from the concentrate which comes from it, shir zrias tirkav. The amount of which the amount you can that takes to plant a tirkav shu shlosha kabin, which is 3 kav. Trey vikav. Tirkav is 2 and 1. Zel echad mishishim lebeis kur, and this is 1/60th of a base kur. Shasa'ah huvav kabin, because they saw a 6 kabin. So therefore, evidently this from a from the 30 30 saw of the base core, 1/60th comes out, and that's 1/60th is what can water a much lower level, much smaller area, the 1/60th of the base core. And the Tamtis Kush Mitzrayim Shoisa. And the Kush, which is going to be much larger, Kush was later on Ethiopia, but Ethiopia is considered to be much of southern Africa. So Tamtis Kush Mitzrayim Shoisa. And the Mitzrayim is Egypt, and Pasha is talking about the Nile River, which brings down water from Ethiopia to Egypt. The Kush, and say so, Mer. So it comes out, if you say, Mitzrayim Mahalach Arboim Yom, Egypt is a 40-day trek in its size. Kush Ma'al Sheva Shanim V'od. Then Ethiopia is a trek of 7 years and even more. Rabbanan Amin, Rabbanan say, Kishnei Avos Harishonim. So this is going back, says the Pnei Moshe. Rabbanan Amin, Polygon be the elder, Amar Obishokia Malach Hamishim Shana, Kinam Saimu Ukishem. They argue way back when we said that Rabbi Yehuda says that the thickness of the dome is the amount you would walk in 50 years, and they disagree. They say it's like the two first avos. Which presumably is Avraham and Yitzchak, which would be 180 and 175, 355, right? Kimei Shemaim al Haaretz, like the days of the heaven on the earth. So what does it mean? Kimei Shemaim al Haaretz. So like days of heaven on earth. So Kishem Shabena Aretz L'Rakia, just like between the land and the dome. In other words, the lowest level of the heavens is Mahal Chamesh Mil Shana, is the amount of time the distance you can walk in 500 years. Kach ben Rakia L'Rakia, so too between each dome, Mahal Chamesh Mil Shana, there is 500 years. The ovio, the trek of 500 years. The ovio, and the thickness shel rakia of each dome of each heaven is ma'chamesh mil shana. Is the amount of time you would walk, the amount distance you walk in 500 years. Rav Dessler says, very interesting piece. He says that if you were to try and achieve perfection on your own by going the distance without Torah, you have to try and get to the seventh heaven, the Rakia Shvi, and it would take these many hundreds of years, 500 years for between Rakia and Rakia, 500 years for each Rakia to perfect oneself in that way. But the Torah is the way we short circuit that process, and we're able to perfect ourselves in Yemesh Mosein, Yemesh Nosein Shimon Shana, being Shmonim Shana, in our limited lifespan on earth. So Umacham is Meimar Ovio Sharakia Mahachamesh Mil Shana. Why we say thickness of the dome of each heaven is 500 years. Amr Rabun, Rabun says, Yehi Rakia B'toch Hamayim. Let there be a Rakia within the water. So the way he explains that, Yehi Rakia Batovech, says Mei Moshe, Be'emtza, in the middle. Kfi HaMerchak Milamalo, Sheben Rakia Rakia HaMerchak Milamata, Sheben Shemai Boretz, just like distance above, Shin Rakia and Rakia, and the distance below, which is from the heavens to the earth. Kachu Ovio Be'emtza, so too is the Tovech, the thing in the middle, is the same size. Rav Amar, Rav says, Lachim Hayu Shamayim B'Yom Rishon, Sheni Karshu. The heavens existed on the first day because it says up in Amayim. So what exactly happened on the second day? That it says there was a kia b'socham, there were kia b'lavdim and mayim l'mayim. So he says that the first day they were soft, they were unstable, and Vasheni Karshu, and the second day they became solidified. The atmosphere evidently became much more stable. Rav Amar Hirakia Yechazek Rakia. He says that the learning along these lines, the Hirakia, which is the second day, means the Rakia should be strengthened. Yikadesh Yikrash Rakia, the Rakia should be crystallized. Yigale Rakia, the Rakia should have its coating. Yimtach Rakia, and the Rakia should stretch. So all these things, Rab says, are the process of stabilizing the heavens, and obviously distinguishing between the atmosphere and outer space, and all the things which we don't understand as well. Rabbi Pazi, Yasek Kemin Matlis Harakia. It should be like a rag or a cloth covering the earth. Hechmat Amar, like it says, Vayeraku Pachei Hazav V'Gomer. Because Pachei Hazav means they beat the gold into thin strips, and that strip is the rakia which separates between the atmosphere and what is above it. Tani b'shem Rabbi Yeshua. When name Rabbi Yeshua, Ovi Rakia Kishnei. There's a different opinion. Ovi Rakia Kishnei, it's Boim. The dome is 2 fingers thick. So Milsa the Rabbi Chanina Pliga. The Rabbi Chanina clearly argues on this. Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Hashem Chanina, Harakia Tarkia Imo Lishchakim, fly up to the Shchakim are the heavens, Chazokim, which are strong, Kir'i Mutzok, like a solid mirror, a solid surface. Tarkia Mlamed Shehem Asuyin Kitas. So Tarkia means that they are made like something which is beaten out. a beaten out plate. Yochel shein brim is possible they're not strong. Tamar chazakim, they are strong. Yochel shein israpim, do they become softened? Tamar kir'i mutzak, like a solid mirror. So he dies the b'chol shavasha niri mutzakim. Every moment, every hour, they seem to be they're seen as being strong and firm. So what is Rabbi China arguing? The Chori also says to me it's a very thin rakia, right? This is it's like it also says it's like a beaten plate. So the Radah says that pligad elkai the Amar China el mishior hamizach ad hanetzachama dal milin nisash chamam and aseres rakia dal milin kizel shir ovish rakia. So that's Rabbi Chanina. That so this I guess it's, I don't remember if this is two. There's seven Rabbi Chaninas or this is two same as name Rabbi Chanina, but this argues not on the previous statement. It agrees with the previous statement. That could be like Etzba'im, but it argues on what we said that the Rovio Shurakia is the shear of Dalad Milin, which means it makes it much thicker. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon Lakish. This is Machlekes Rabbi Yochanan Shimon Lakish. Yochanan Amar b'noig shv'olam adam motech oel ayidei shahus rafa. If you when a person spreads a tent, the longer it stands, the weaker it gets. But here he spread the heavens like a tent in which to sit. So evidently, Shabbos means something which is, even though it's like an OL, uksiv chazakim. Right? Even though it's an OL, it's softer. No, it says strong, that the heavens are solid. Rabbi Shimon Lakish Amar, v'no shel abolam adam nosek kalim. A person pours pours vessels. In other words, a person formulates vessels. Going on language, kri mutzak. They shows who maleh chaluda, but over time they become rusty. It's like it looks solid, but they look like they looked at the time that they were poured. So the world never gets rusty. So this obviously tells you about how Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't allow the world to become soft, says Rabbi Yochanan. It doesn't allow the world to become rusty, says Rish Lakish. Rabbi Azariah Amar Hodu Rabbi Shimon Lakish. Rabbi Azariah said concerning that which Rabbi Shimon Lakish said, the heavens and the earth and all their hosts were completed. And Hashem completed on the seventh day. Hashem blessed the seventh day. Maxi Basrei, what does it say afterwards? Ela Todos Hashamayim. It says immediately afterwards, Ela Todos Hashamayim Ba'aretz V'Baram. Immediately after Vayichulu, it says that language, Ela Todos Hashamayim Ba'aretz V'Baram. What does one have to do with the other? The Shabbos and then Tolos Shemayim Ba'aretz. Ela Yom Nichnas V'Yom Yotzei. A day comes in and a day goes out. Shabbos Nichnas, Shabbos Yotzei. Shabbos comes in and Shabbos goes out. Chodesh Nichnas, Chodesh Yotzei. A month goes in, a month goes out. Shana Nichnas, Shana Yotzei. A year comes in, a year goes out. Uksiv Eila Toldos Hashemayim Ba'aretz B'Baram B'Yom Asosha Hashem Elokim Eretz V'Shamayim. So even though the years, the Shabbos comes in, the Shabbos goes out, and years pass over and over and again, it's as if they are everything was fresh at the whole time as the day it was created. It's always as the Prophet Moshe says, they're always fresh as the day they were made. So even though we have the first Shabbos ended, another Shabbos begins, and so through the other periods, it's always the Shemayim is always Hamachadish, but Tuva v'Chayot Tamin Ma'aser Bereshis. Uh, 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 Rebbe Omer, Arba Shmos B'Yom Arba Shmos B'Layla. There are 4 Shmos during the day and 4 Shmos during the night. 4 watches, both day and night. Ha'ona Echad Me'Esrim V'Arba L'Shah. Okay, but now this is back in times of Chazal. We didn't have minutes and seconds like we have today. There are different ways of dividing up the hour. So he says we have an hour is divided up into onos, right? And onos 1/24 of an hour. Ace echad mesim ba'arbal ona, and an ace is 1/24 of an ona. Harega and a rega, which we translate normally as a moment, echad mesim ba'arbal ace. It's 1/24 of an ace. So these are the breakdowns of times of according to this hierarchy. Of course, there's another one which divides up the hour into chalakim, but this is this is the dividing up into regoyim. So how long is a rega? Kamahu rega. So Rabbi Brechia b'shem Rechel b'Amar Kedei Lomro. Now the time it takes to say the word rega. V'Rabbanan Amin harega caravan. It's like the blink of an eye. Tanya Shmuel rega echa michamesh ribo v'sheis alav v'shmona milos v'arboim v'shmona l'shah. It's the one five, one 56,848 of an hour. The Radah says, brings down the Bavli, that has similar numbers but not quite the same. 58,888 of an hour. So and it's then not very far off, and not sure about discrepancy, but the Gra changes the Girsa in the Yerushalmi to be the same as in the Bavli. So they'll both be the same very, very short amount of time. So that's all Rabbi Yehuda Shita. That, although we kind of digressed, Rabbi Yehuda Shita is that there are 4 Ashmoros in the day and 4 Ashmoros in the night. Now we have the different, the other Shita, Rabbi Nassan Omer. Rabbi Nassan Omer Sholosh. There are 3 Ashmoros, which Gra puts in the word here, Shenamar. Shenamar Rosh Hashmora Hatichoin. Hashmora Hatichoin. The beginning of the middle watch. Sounds like there are 3 watches. The first one, the second one, and the middle one. Zrika Rabbi Ami B'Shem Rabbi Shimon Lakish. Taima the Rebbe. What Rebbe who says there are 4 Ashmoros. What's his source? Where's his pasuk? Chatzos Laila Akum Lodoslecha Al Mishmar Tzikecha. It's very similar to the Bavli. In the middle of the night I will rise up. Midnight I will rise up to thank you on your on your just your righteous justice. It says the Mel says Ashmoros. I got up before Ashmoros, before the watches. So Miud Rabbi Mishnayim, 2 Ashmoros. Not a Mishmar and a half, 2 Mishmaros. Rabbi Chizka Amar Rabbi Zikon Rabbi Ba Chad Amar Tamid. The Rabbi Chad Amar Tamid Rabbi Nassan. Chazika said in the name of Rabbi Chizka, name Rabbi Zikon. Rabbi Ba said, we don't know who said what. One said they gave the reasoning of Rabbi. The other gave the reasoning of Rabbi Nassan. Man, the time of the Rabbi, for the one who said the explained Rabbi, Chatzos Laila, the Chatzos Laila, and that was before Ashmoros. I lost my place. 1 second. Chaim my time Rebbe, Chaim my time Rebbe Nosson. Man my time Rebbe, Chatzos Laila. Man my time Rebbe Nosson. Rosh Hashmos Dichayna. Beginning of the middle watch, right? Man my time Rebbe Nosson that we already had. Man my time Rebbe Nosson time of the Rebbe. Chatzos Laila. What does Rebbe Nosson do with Rebbe, who brings down Chatzos Laila? There's still two mishmos left. So it's interesting. This is not the Bavli's interpretation. It says Pami Chatzos Laila, Pami Kadmo Inayish Maros. Sometimes I used to get up at 12, sometimes 12 a.m. Sometimes I got up at 10 p.m. And sometimes I got up in the middle of the Mishmar, which is Chatzos. Sometimes I got up at the beginning of the Mishmar, which was at Rosh Hashanah, which is the sometimes got up at before Hashemos, which is before 2 at the beginning of at 10 p.m., which would be corresponding to the beginning of the second Mishmar. So Bavli is different, gives different answers, but that's the Yerushalmis. Sad. So how did it work out? What was the scenario? B'shasha David soed sudas melachim, when David would be and he had a suda of a feast of the kings, which would last long into the night. Chatzos he would get up at midnight. B'shasha soed sudas atzmo, and when he was we're already over on Daf Zion, but we'll just finish in a moment. B'shasha soed sudas atzmo. Then he was much shorter, and he used to get up before Ashmara. You got to go to sleep earlier. You get up earlier at 10 p.m. Lo have a shachra asyo mishkach leDavid damich. Nevertheless, the morning will not come and find David sleeping. Okay, and we'll continue with Hashem on this thought. Oh no, sorry, I didn't get to the end yet. I thought it got the end. No, sorry, apologize. So we're still on the base. So again, come loava shachra asim meshkach David damich. Who should David Amar? That's what David Amar said. Ura kivodi, ura neva chinor, ira shachar. I woke up the morning. Is ir yikari. My kavod would get up. Lifnei kumi ikri debris. Before the kavod of Barai, of my Creator. In other words, as part of my submission to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is that I would make sure that He doesn't come first, and I come and greet Him before He arrives. Ikrei lo chashiv klum mikadem ekilibri, and my chashivas is insignificant before the chashivas of my Creator. Shachar anavina orer shachar shachar of amorosi. I will wake up in the morning. The morning would not wake me up. Vaya yitzro mekatrago, and the Yitzhara would try and go David into more sleep, right? Lo, the Yitzhara would say, David, darkan shemalachim, lios me'shachar mararon. Most kings, the morning wakes them up. Batamar ir shachar, and you're going to say, wake up the morning. Darkon shemalachim lios yishenu ad shaloshos. The malachim would sleep till 3 hours. That's my kriyashma. Bad omar chatzos laila kum. You getting up in the middle of the night? Omer and David would say, "Mishpatei tzidkecha." I'm getting up on the Mishpatei tzidkecha. In other words, they're not concerned with Mishpat Tzedek. I'm concerned with Mishpat Tzedek, and evidently that that was how David decided to get up in the middle of the night, as the uh, in order to make sure to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu al Mishpatei Tzidkecha. Second, the Mashbiach has a very elaborate interpretation here. He says that David's Yetzirah was mekashering him, and he said to David, you have to maintain the covenant of your Malchus. The covenant of Malchus Yisrael is in your hands. You have to mechabed it and not degrade it. And since the derech of Malachim is that the morning wakes them up, they don't wake up in the morning. You have to also act like other kings. You're the second king, first major king, so to speak, in Am Yisrael's history. You gotta maintain Kavod Malchus like other kings do. And just like this is it says part of the Eight Sahara's persuasion, a Talmud Chacham is not allowed to do malach in public because it's not appropriate to do in front of people because not allowed to be mevase, degrade his chachma. So to you can't degrade yourself by getting up early in other kings, which seems that not a royal thing to do. So he says this is no. I'm getting up on Mishpatei Tzidkecha. By getting up early, I'm going to know Mishpatei Tzidkecha in the correct way. And therefore, it's best for me to get up early and wake the morning. And just like a Talmud Chacham is allowed to be involved in something, a binyan shel mitzvah, anything else, and it's not considered degrading because there's a mitzvah involved, because that's its covenant, and the covenant of anybody who's involved in mitzvah, so too, my covenant is to make sure to get up early and to learn and to dive in and so on and so forth. And he says that that's also what similar to what David HaMelech said when Michal confronted him with his extraordinary dancing, his mefazes and mecharker b'chol hoz, when they brought the Aron up to Yerushalayim, and said, "Manich bara yom Melech Yisrael shenigla yom ki galos echad arekim." What kind of honor is this? My father would never have done this. Shaul would never have done this, said Michal. He was doing this dancing like one of the frivolous ones. And David said, the response, "Sachachti lifnei Hashem." I'm rejoicing in front of Hashem. I'm playing so to speak in front of Hashem. Now, close the mizos. I should be even more degraded. Shafal beinai, be degraded in my eyes. And Imam Chabda, and I will find my honor is the this to be showing my great simcha in front of those amos. And this is my covenant, like it says. Like it said before, ayakri lo chashi klum become ikri debari. My covenant doesn't matter. The covenant of Hakadosh Baruch Hu really matters. And he adds on in Parshas Tzav. It says, "V'yer Moshe zed avar asher tziva Hashem lasos." Moshe says, "This is what Hashem commanded to do." And so the Kach Moshe Saram Espanah by Chatzusam B'Mayim. Moshe took Aaron and his children and he washed them, and he put on their clothing. So Hashem Yisbarach told Moshe Rabbeinu to wash Aaron and his children and clothe them. Was to be Zion to Moshe was like a king to wash them and to clothe them. So therefore, he said before he began, he says, "Zeh davar asher tzivah Hashem lasos." Hashem commanded this, and this is my covenant, because my covenant is to fulfill Ratzon Hashem. And David HaMelech says, my covenant is to make sure to give proper honor to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not to honor myself. And the word Zumaya David Oiseh, that's already relates more to the next daf, so we'll leave it for tomorrow's daf.